he's stating fact after fact after fact. He states that the Framework Convention on Climate Change is openly calling for world government. They are. Ban Ki-moon, we'll put this up on screen if you want. Just Google, "we can do it," and then click news, and you will see Ban Ki-moon in an editorial. He is the UN Secretary General. The United Nations does exist. I will assure you it's a real thing. Set up by our Pentagon in 1945 to take over the planet. You know, our media always acts like it's some anti-American organization. It is anti-American. But it's sprang from the anti-Americans that run our Congress and run our Pentagon and run our government. They camouflage themselves in the flag. They camouflage themselves in all this talk about how they're doing all of this for the greater good of the planet, when it is the exact opposite. Let's go ahead and go to some phone calls here. Bob in Ohio, thanks for holding her on the air.
Liberty's son, God bless you. And you're not alone, Alex. From Ohio, two-tour non-vet, and I've seen it coming. I knew Iraq was another Vietnam. But the point of my call is, other than to ask God to bless you and thank you, Liberty's son, is that if we don't get... See, what they're doing is carpet bombing us. The tentacles of the military-industrial complex woven in with Congress is carpet bombing us, and we need a constitutional party 10 years ago, really. And if we don't get that across the states, across the United States and all the individual states, a constitutional party, we will never win this war or take our country back, Alex. And that's my insight and wisdom saying that. And,
well, Bob, I agree with you. That's a big part of the solution. That's why Aaron Russo founded the Constitution Party. The problem is the feds send COINTELPRO in to Libertarian Party, to Constitution Party. They either try to take it over or they destroy it with infighting. Because it only takes a few feds that know psychology to get everybody talking bad about the leaders and everybody infighting. Look what they did with Ron Paul. A lot of Patriot sites now spend all their time attacking Ron Paul. Most of them aren't feds. They just get manipulated by psychologists that are running sites into infighting, and you'd think Ron Paul was the problem. You'd think Ron Paul was the issue. Not that over 30 years of fighting, we've got 2/3 of the House ready to audit the Fed. People are now awake that the Fed's private, that it's the real and illegitimate government. How far we've come. Instead, they've turned COINTELPRO loose to hope, but I don't think it's going to work. Hope that we all just fight with each other. Absolutely, the Constitution Party's great. Ron Paul's great. The states' rights movement, the media tries to pose that as that we're talking about secession. No, we're talking about 10th and 9th Amendment declarations of state sovereignty, that the federal government is out of control and engaged in unconstitutional, illegal, and unlawful activities, and that we are going to bring it under heel. But we've gone way past the federal government being too big. Now the federal government itself, Bob, is run by foreign offshore corporations. So we've had a coup, an illegitimate coup of our government by this corporate system, this New World Order. They're now openly admitting they've done that. There's a Campaign for Liberty article today about privatizing wealth transfer. And they admit in that article that it's the elite that are funding robbing the general public. They just tell the dumbed down blue collar folks, a lot of those are smarter than yuppies, but they tell the ones they can fool, oh, you're going to get that rich guy, the guy in $1 million house down the street. When the guy in $1 million house or a $500,000 house is not the rich guy. It's the rich guys using the underclass as a weapon against the middle class. I appreciate your call. Great points, Bob. Brian in Illinois. Brian, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking my call, Alex. I'm sure you've heard about that plague in the Ukraine going on, where there's a University of Chicago scientist who died, it was reported September 13th, messing around with some kind of a bacterial plague. And I'm sure that's not just a coincidence. You can do a front page search on that and find out for yourself. Anyway,
no, I saw that. I mean, there's been quite a few U.S. scientists in the U.S. dying in their universities where they're doing level 4 research in level 2 facilities. You can just walk right into these facilities. They've got weaponized bubonic plague, weaponized smallpox, weaponized anthrax, weaponized foot and mouth, weaponized Lyme's disease. Everything's weaponized, and they're just, you swipe a card, walk in, no airlocks, no nothing. And governments everywhere are testing biological crises. The Ukraine government was on the verge of falling. Their people know they're crooks. And so suddenly a virus starts killing people and they hype it up. I just think it's more hype, sir.
You know, I agree with you. I had a professor in college. I was really excited about the so-called Orange Revolution they had when Yushchenko got into power. But it was pretty obvious that some things went down. But, hey, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. God bless you. Rick in Georgia, you're on the air. Go ahead, Ricky.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say really quick, thank you for everything that you do for all Americans, and thank you personally for helping me to find my way back to the Lord. Like you, I believe that a powerful weapon in fighting back against all of this is to become independent from them, to not need them for all of their stuff that they try and sell us on. And like you, I am not worldly. I don't really care about money or anything anymore. I just care about doing what's right. So I wanted to throw this out there, this idea that I had, just in case any of your listeners have the means to bring it to fruition. A lot of Americans don't know that at a time in this country, steam engine cars were outselling internal combustion cars until the development of the electronic ignition. There is a
Hold on. You can't have a steam-driven car. Water vapor and carbon dioxide is deadly weapon, according to the government. Next, they'll list water as toxic waste. Stay there. I want to come back and hear your idea, Ricky.